Chuck Hagler, Chief of Police here, C-H-E-C-K-H-A-G-L-E-R. Last night we received a call on the dead end of Carver Avenue here in the city of Hueytown about a shooting. When officers responded to the scene, neither the shooter nor the victims were still on the scene. However, from the witness information, we felt like we had a potential shooter on the ground in the neighborhood. We set up a perimeter and proceeded to search for the individual in that neighborhood. During the course of this search, we were able to develop other information and witness information that led to a vehicle description and some potential other suspects. While we were in the process of this search, we were contacted by the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Department. The vehicle that we had put the bolo out on was located in Tuscaloosa County, and there was an individual associated with that vehicle who was deceased from a gunshot wound. We then began, obviously, a homicide investigation. We developed more information about potential suspects. In the course of that, we went to a residence in the Dolomite section of Birmingham, close to our city, attempting to take someone into custody. The individual fled from the house, and we once again set up a perimeter and spent several hours searching for that individual into the early hours of this morning. I say it's information developed during the investigation led us to seek charges this morning with the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office in Bessemer Division, and warrants were issued 2 counts of capital murder against Dion Dwayne Jones. Mr. Jones' date of birth is 8/15/95, which makes him 15 years old. He has an address in the Dolomite section of Birmingham. The 2 counts arise from shooting someone in the course of a robbery and shooting into an occupied vehicle. We also have a second subject that was taken into custody last night that we were located and was picked up for us by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department. That individual has not been charged yet, but I anticipate charges will probably be issued tomorrow in regards to him, and information associated with that will be released tomorrow. This was a team effort involving us and several other agencies. The U.S. Marshal Service is involved in looking for the individual now. The City of Pleasant Grove helped us last night. I appreciate their help. I'd also like to commend the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office and the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department for their assistance. And I'll give a special thanks to the members of my department. There was some extraordinary efforts put into this investigation last night by everybody involved. And I'm proud we were able to bring such a quick resolution to this incident. I'd also like to point out that nobody associated with this crime actually lives in my city. Victims, criminals, everything associated with. This was one of those crimes that it took place here. With no direct connection to the city, these individuals, usually makes a crime like this very difficult to solve. So I'm proud of my investigations division and proud of everybody that associated with them that helped bring this crime to a resolution for us. Have any questions?
I can just go back to the person who charged. His name and age again?
His name is Dion Dwayne Jones.
Dion, D-E-O-N?
D-E-I-O-N.
Oh, D-E-I.
Yes, Dion Dwayne Jones.
Okay. Spell Dwayne for the police chief.
It's a D-E-W-A-Y-N-E. And once again, his date of birth is 8/15/95.
Did he have a criminal record?
Yes, he did. He was actually wanted at the time this occurred for a felony assault. Charged with the, what the originating agency on that was? Bessemer Police Department had warrants outstanding for him on a felony assault.
Can you answer that again? Because it looked weird concerned with. Can you tell us about his previous record?
He was already had a warrant issued for him, an active warrant for a felony assault.
And I know you cannot identify the other person. I'm assuming he's a juvenile.
I'm not going to say anything about the other individual until we've obtained warrants, and we'll release that information tomorrow. All right.
You said 95 was his?
Yes.
8/15/95. Okay.
Yes, he was born in 8/15/95, so he's 21 years old.
And how many scenes, because we went into that neighborhood, there's not really a 500 block, maybe one home with 500s, but the people in that circle where the basketball court, they say it didn't happen here. They came from somewhere else. And in the building, investigated.
The shooting took place there. What they mean is those individuals did not live there. That's what that would mean. Yes, but the shooting definitely took place in that circle down there. Yes. And I was also proud of the fact that we had so many people from that neighborhood call and volunteer information and get involved with the investigation. I think it speaks well for the relationship my police department has with that neighborhood.
Any idea what he was doing there, what the victim or the suspects were doing there?
There was our working theory and belief at this point is that there was an illegal transaction involving a firearm. That's what led to them being there.
I didn't hear that much, Jay. Was there a transaction of pills and marijuana going
No,
on?
it was an illegal transaction involving a firearm. We have no indication that it was a narcotics situation.
Did the victim maybe say, I'm not going to do this, and at that point, did that provoke
I'm
that?
not going to go into
Okay.
any details of that's part of the investigation. We are obviously actively looking for Mr. Jones. Anybody that has any information or sees him or has any whereabouts, I would ask that they could either contact either Crime Stoppers at 254-7777 or directly contact us, the police department at 491-3523. But Crime Stoppers is going to be involved in trying to locate and apprehend this individual. We appreciate their assistance also.
Chief, your thoughts on, as you said, none of these individuals are resident of Hueytown, that they will come from somewhere else, basically to do this crime in your city? Your
Well,
thoughts on that?
and this is something I go back to when I speak to community events. Also, we have to understand that we're a part of a metropolitan area. Okay, that city limits do not insulate us from any crime, and it certainly doesn't cause criminals to cross borders. The individuals might live in Birmingham, they might live in Bessemer, they might live wherever, but that doesn't mean they're not going to come here. They're not going to go to Hoover. They're not going to go to Trustful. I mean, the crime is really, unfortunately for all of us, a metropolitan issue. We can, as much as we'd like to pretend that whatever little kingdom that we particularly work for or run is somehow isolated and different, it's not. Crime in the metropolitan area will reach out and touch all of us, no matter where we live. It's just a fact.
And does that offer an advantage to you, Chief, by partnerships with whomever might be around you? Or
Yes,
is that-
and that's one of the reasons that we're so happy to be involved with the Metro Area Crime Center that the Sheriff's Department has started. Is I'm hoping that's going to be a lead into a much more deeper cooperative situation with all the surrounding agencies.
And just to regather here, you're still looking for one guy?
Yes, we have one in custody and we are searching for another.
So the shooter is the one that's still on the loose, correct?
We believe that the individual that is on the loose was probably the one who pulled the trigger. Yes,
Gotcha.
yes. We do consider him to be armed and dangerous.
Okay.
We are certainly treating him like he is armed and dangerous.
And that's Jones?
Yes.
Okay. Was he the one that was in Dolomite, or is that he somewhere else?
He was the one that was in Dolomite. Yes, the individual that we have in custody now surrendered without any incident.
Around that area where the shooting
No,
took place?
the Sheriff's Department picked him up at another location in McCall.
Okay.
So where are search efforts focused now on Jones?
We're looking in several areas. We have several leads, different parts of the Jefferson County area. We have officers who are actively going door to door now. In fact, we just attempted to make contact with an associate of his in the city of Midfield. Then there was an incident associated with that y'all might want to contact the Midfield Police Department and ask them about.
Anything that you want to say about the fact that these are young, these are kids, I mean, a 17-year-old, and is there anything you want to say about?
The Marine Corps loves kids that age. And there's a reason for it. They have no sense of their own mortality. They are desensitized to and don't have a real understanding of death and consequences. And a teenager. I have a son. My son just graduated from college. There's nothing on earth more dangerous than a late teen, early 20s boy.
And let me ask for clarification, Chief. So Dwayne Jones, a 15-year-old, that's the one we're still looking for?
He's 21. The individual we're looking for, Mr. Jones, was born in 8/15 of 95,
Okay.
which makes him 21 years old.
Okay. That's what you're still looking for.
He was the individual that we are
The
still
one that was in custody is still in process.
there's still parts of the investigation that are pending associated with him and making a determination into what charges are going to be associated with him. Okay?
So why would you put out the person's name who you're still looking for, rather than the one that's in custody.
Well, because we are still looking for him, and we want people's help in locating that individual, yes.
Do you have a picture of him?
Yes, I did. I was, at the end of this, I was going to
Okay, perfect.
present y'all with a mug shot that y'all take your pictures of it. All right, we have any other questions?